Hey everyone, this is Greg, and today I'll be showing you how Alice can help you in your everyday work, how you can work hand in hand with AI within your team, whether it's a small team or bigger team or large team. We'll explore all the options that will help you utilize AI in your everyday workflow. And this is really powerful, and I've been talking to many different teams, and all of the times I hear that yes, they are using ChatGPT and they are trying some things, trying to wrap their head around using AI for work, for productivity. But to be honest, I don't think anyone nailed it, and everyone is kind of searching for a solution and kind of using just the surface of the tools that are available to them. There's like a huge gap between what can be done and what people are doing currently with AI, with the current state of AI and with the available tools within teams. So in this one, I'd like to show you step by step, starting from the basics, going through more advanced stuff and even a bit more technical stuff at the end. But I feel that this is really something that enables the teams nowadays to really work with AI like hand in hand and really use AI for productivity. So if you're ready, let's get started. And one more thing, at the end of this, I will have a special thing for you. So make sure you watch up until the end, and let's get started.
Well, first of all, I think it's the completely new era of teamwork, and working together hand in hand with the assistant like Alice is another thing that you will be exploring as a team member, as a professional, maybe freelancer. But basically, people usually use AI in a very basic setup. With Alice, you can start with very basic setup, but you can quickly explore some other things, and there is a lot to unpack. So in this one, I'd like to focus on teamwork and how specifically you can use Alice within your team. And I'm going to start with explaining you very simple things and simple concepts about Alice, about quick actions and keyboard shortcuts. Well, this might not be like a life-changing improvement. However, if you imagine how many time is wasted on very simple tasks, on just creating an email version, replying to a query, or things like correcting text. Well, this is really nice concept if you think of assistants within Alice. So here I have the text that I need to correct. Okay, there is a lot of typos and there is some problems that I need to fix. However, there is also something here that you couldn't change easily with just a casual conversation to ChatGPT, and it requires some context. It requires information about the company EasyTools, which is misspelled here, but usually chat doesn't have such context, and this won't be replaced. But with Alice, you can have assistants that are very fitted for this task and for this purpose. For example, I have Sally here, I have May, and those are assistants that have their pre-built prompts, and I can show you how they look. Just click on edit, and they have many different options here, but the main system prompt of this assistant is strictly connected to my brand. Okay, so May knows that EasyTools revolutionizes online selling with a suite of no-code tools, and she knows the value proposition of my company. She knows the tools, the sales tools, the persona that we engage through education and stuff like this. So there is a lot of context already within this assistant. So thanks to this context, if I switch to May, which by the way is very easy by pressing a keyboard shortcut. So I press Command 4 in my case, but you can set any keyboard shortcut you'd like for your assistants. And now I can use an action that will automatically fix the text for me. So I don't have to write, hey, can you please fix the text, fix the typos and stuff like this. I don't need to give any instructions, but I can just press / and I can select this fix grammar skill that is now turned on. And now I can take this text and I can simply copy and paste it, and I don't need to add anything else. What May will do, she will just copy and the text to my clipboard. That is the perfect version of this one, and it includes checking the EasyTools spelling and correcting it. So if you have any more additional context, add it to the assistant or to the skill to, for example, rewrite it in the tone of voice of your company so that it's, witty and friendly and whatever. It can also work like this, and it can make all of the replies to emails, all of the blog posts, all of the content that you're working for with a little bit more customized, a little more fitted to your brand without trying that hard, without giving it the context each time. And this is really, really powerful concept. Well, May has also some other things that she can do. She also have some skills, and she can, for example, refine the text. She can OCR. She can help me with marketing copy. But that's not all. I have different assistants. So, for example, Sally's task is to reply to messages, and this is again something that we do quite often. I just pressed Command N to create a new conversation with Sally because I want to create a new thread. And by the way, all of the history of your threads is already here, so I can go back at any time to the conversation I had. Also, it's interesting because I can press an up arrow in Alice, and I can select the chat that I had, and in some cases, I can just simply copy that, or I can fork this conversation. I can delete it. I can edit the conversation that I have here, so it's pretty useful. But in this case, let's switch to Sally, and let me show you how I usually work with those replies. So Sally has as her base knowledge information about the company, but the ones specific for our customer service, so FAQs and all the documentation, and she knows everything about replying to messages around Alice app. So what I have here is a sample question I got from my customer about Alice. What I can do is I can just screen grab this question, and I can paste it in Sally. I just press Command V to paste it, and now I can add some additional context. So I can either just press return and add no context to that to get the perfect reply to this email, or I can decide that, okay, I want to paste it, but I want to add some context. Make sure that you add something like this. So I can guide the reply so those remarks are included in the reply, so that the general knowledge of my assistant Sally, that knows exactly how paying for AI credit works with Alice, and she can give me this perfect reply, can be additionally customized, and I can add some additional context about this client. I can say, okay, say hi to Greg from me, and do something else. So this is really, really useful, and it lets me format the messages that really easily, and also create and craft responses, for example, for customer service. By the way, if you are interested in the shortcut that I used, if you go to Mac OS keyboard shortcut section, here you will have screenshots, and this is the screenshot that I'm using shortcut that I'm using all the time. If you press Command Shift W, in my case, because you customize this by yourself, you will copy the picture of selected area to the clipboard, and this is really, really useful. I just use it all the time, and I just paste to Alice. This way I don't have to select and copy the text. And this way also I can select and give Alice as a context not only the text, but some other things as well. Let me give you my linear as an example. So here in linear, I run developer cycles. And if you take a look at one of the cycles, well, there is set of completed tasks in this particular cycle, but there is also some additional context about the scope, statistics, some metadata about the projects, also assignees, and some relevant data that I cannot simply copy from here. But what I can do is I can move to one of my assistants for easy. This guy's name is Lou, and I just press Command N for a new conversation with Lou. And what I can do here is simply use one of Lou's actions, and one of those actions is creating a cycle summary. It's something that used to take me probably an hour every week to create a cycle summary from those tasks, but I will show you how I can quickly just grab a screenshot of all the relevant information in this cycle and then send it to Lou. And what Lou will do is he'll just categorize, and he will get my job done. So he will basically get all of those tickets, and he knows which project is which. He will categorize them. He will do exactly what I ask him to do in sort of a template for this cycle summary prompt. So this is nothing else as a prompt to format this as a Slack message to my team that is, formatted in this particular way. And I have grouped support tickets and also the backlog things. And by the way, I also have like some cheers, some thumbs up, and excellent execution by Marta here as well, and stuff like this. I can simply copy that and paste it to our team Slack, and it really saves me a lot of time. But this is the same idea of basically taking a screenshot of something, creating an action that is a prompt underneath. In this prompt, I have a lot of information of how I want to format the reply. And then the model takes into consideration what he sees on the screen and creates a reply for me. And this is really something that is like, it used to take forever for us. And most of our work, of our daily tasks are, contain some kind of things like this. They are pretty simple, replying to emails or maybe creating some summaries, creating some documentation or slides or something like that. And if there is a process to be done, if there is some kind of like a guidance that you can put in the model to create a template for this, you can easily do it by just putting the screenshot in Alice. By the way, this guy Lou can also connect to Linear in a different way. Because I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of Alice being able to speak to your apps. Well, basically, if you, for example, use Todoist, I do use Todoist for like a super simple setup of my tasks. And Lou can ask Todoist to put some task in my routine. So now if I say, for example, create an ebook tomorrow 9 a.m. and you should notice that I'm not really careful about grammar, spelling, and the dates, but Lou will understand that and will create an entry in my to-dos exactly for tomorrow with this create an ebook action. And this is super powerful because this way I can interact not only with my Todoist, but you can imagine interacting with your whole team's to-do lists. And you can ask, for example, to put this to-do on Joanna's or maybe Marcin's Todoist, and Alice, or in this case Lou, can do this for you. How is it done? Well, there is an automation that runs this. There is a simple scenario in Zapier or Make that you can create to just receive the data from Alice. And here I simply ask Alice to format it in a correct data structure. So I told her tomorrow 9 a.m. So she kind of like figured out the proper format for the date. And also I gave her some kind of task, and she knew that this should be a task in my JSON file. So this JSON file is basically triggering my automation, my webhook. And then from there, you can do anything you want. You can pass it to any software you want, and this software will execute some actions. And this is a very powerful concept, but it might be a bit complicated because it requires some automation skills. Even those are really, really simple ones, and you can do them no code. But there is another way that you can use and utilize to speak to those different apps, and you don't need any automation knowledge. Is as simple as going to Alice's settings, and in the settings, you have something that's called MCP. And MCPs are servers that you can connect to, and those are servers for a specific particular software, and usually they allow you to do different things within the software by just chatting to Alice. So you might think of MCPs as a bridge between LLM, between Alice and artificial intelligence, and the software that you use daily. In this case, we have some native integrations that you can use. So if you click on Linear, it will just ask you to authorize with OAuth, and then it's connected. So I have Linear connected here, and let me just make sure that Linear is connected to Lou, okay? So Lou is now the agent responsible for communication with Linear. And this Linear MCP that I've connected, it has some kind of tools that are available. And you can take a look at the tools here. So for example, update project, list users, get issue, get team, things like that, okay? But you can also manage those tools from the assistant. So here, if I go to Lou and if I edit Lou, you will see that I have this MCP connected. If I go to settings, you see that there are some actions that he can perform within Linear. And the best thing about it is I don't need to create any automation. I will just chat to Lou and he will do his best in selecting the proper action in this tool and just using the MCP server to execute it. And it's really important that if you don't really use some of those actions, for example, list issue labels, if I don't use it, I would just disable it, because the more actions Lou has, the more actions he has to take into consideration when making the decision what kind of tool to use in order to perform this action. So let me save those changes. Let me create a new conversation with Lou. And can I just ask him, can you list my linear tasks? This time, I'm not enabling any skill here, so I'm just casually talking to him. And okay, he needs some more details, but let's see if the MCP is turned on. Well, no, as it shows here, the MCP is now turned off. So this reply is not taking into consideration my MCP, linear MCP that I've connected. I need to enable that or press Command-Shift-P to enable this MCP server. And now let me ask this question to Lou again. Now, as you can see, he is like evaluating capabilities that he has. And instead of just like doing a simple not effective answer, he asked me if I want to list my issues. What I can do is accept this once, or accept and trust it for future. So every time that he is picking up this particular tool, this action, he will be able to execute it without my approval. Okay, so as you can see, she's listing my tasks now. And she will list as much as I probably have, so that would be a long list. So I'm going to stop this right now so I can cancel such a response. But also, can you please add task test to shiny features? And I will explain what this means now. So if I go to linear, well, she's going to create an issue now, okay, in linear. And in linear, I have different projects here. So if I go to my projects, one of them is shiny features, and she will add a test task here. And this is quite interesting because she has to know the context of my tasks and of my projects. And this is accomplished within the assistant itself. So if I go to assistants and I go to Lou's settings, you can see that Lou, in his master prompt, he has the company ID of Easy Tools, and he also has a lot of different IDs for my projects. So this is something that you will come up with working with MCP servers. When you first, for example, ask it to create a task, he will tell you, wait, but I don't know the company ID. And then you will ask again, and he will say, oh, but I don't know the ID of the project that you want to add this task to. And this is how MCP servers work. So again, there is like a huge advantage in Alice's assistance, because I can simply say, okay, so please create a list of all my IDs of all my projects. And then I just copy and paste the list to the master prompt. And this way he will always know all my projects and all the correct IDs. So this is pretty cool, because by adding this context, I actually can use MCP servers and their full capabilities, but this would be impossible if I don't have assistants or if I didn't have skills in Alice. Okay, so the task has been added, and let's move to another example with MCPs and with Zapier. This is really, really cool because you can literally enable it one click, and you can go to Zapier MCP website. Now, just click Get Started. And from here, you're going to create a new MCP server. Once you do it, you're going to create like other client. Okay, create MCP server and then go to the connect section. From here, you're going to need this URL. So let's copy this URL. And then Alice, you're going to go to settings and MCPs. And here you have Zapier. So once you click on Zapier, what you're going to have to do is basically connect by adding this server URL here. So I copy it from here, I paste it here, and that's it. That's basically it. Now you are connected to this MCP server. I'm actually connected to this one. And now if you move from the connect to configure section, just make sure that you enable Zapier MCP for one of your assistants, and also that you turn this Zapier MCP on. Okay, and now once it's enabled, if I go to Foxy, I can see that Zapier MCP is here, and I already have 16 actions added, and some of them are trusted because I've used them in the past, but those are basically connected to my different apps. And if you take a look at how this is configured, I have connected here LinkedIn, Gmail, and also some other apps. You can basically you can add so many tools here. You can add Notion, Airtable, Slack, and this will enable Alice chatting to those apps without the need to, define those actions and create automations for it. Literally, you'll be able to get some information from Jira or from CRM or from ClickUp, and probably also, send some, add some information here. As you can see, all the tools can be added, or you can customize and add specific tools. For example, searching for a task, adding tasks for ClickUp and stuff like this. So it's as easy as clicking on the tool and connecting the tool. And here I have some tools connected. So let me show you how it might work here. I can, let's say, search for Zoom. Okay, and I'm going to add Zoom. I will add all the tools from Zoom. Now I will have to authenticate with Zoom. Those tools are already added. And now I have to check, in Zapier, I'd probably need to refresh the connection for now. Let's take a look, turn this on and off make sure that, okay, 26 tools are now connected. Should be ready to go. So with Zapier, I have now 26 tools, and I have Zoom tools as well. So if I say, can you please create a link to a 1-hour Zoom meeting for me, please? Okay, there's always many please that you can include for burning tokens. And now let's accept and trust this action, Zoom create meeting. She's now contacting my Zoom integration within Zapier MCP. The best thing, it's free. You can have as many as 300 calls. Okay, meeting topic and start time. So the meeting starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. and the topic is just a sales call. And as you can see, if this MCP server lacks some required information, he will ask follow-up questions, and it's really, really nice. It's convenient. And now it should use the proper action to create Zoom meeting for me. So I'm using one tool that I've added via this MCP server. And as you can see, I have the meeting, I have the passcode and the link. Also, I have, as you might notice, Gmail here. So I can also say, okay, can you please send the invitation for this call to greg@techsistence.com. Thank you. So from here, it should know the context of the conversation, consult the tools, and now Gmail send email is taking place. So this meeting link will be sent to the proper address. And at any time, you can preview what's going on here. So basically the payload and whether this is correct or not. Okay, the Zoom invite just landed in Greg Existence inbox. Let me just check, and here we have it. Zoom invite, there you go. And the really cool thing about it is it figured out every detail of this. But what's really cool about this is if you have this assistant, like I have Foxy, and she has some additional context on how to, create those invitations, how to structure them, how I want my messages, my emails to be formatted and stuff like this, it will all be taken into consideration. And this is really great because it it lets you be more personal with such simple things that you can do with those assistants. So there you have it. Here we have a conversation with two MCP servers. You could try to do it in one take. Actually, we might try it now. So if we know the requirements, let's start recording. Okay, can you please create a Zoom meeting for tomorrow, 11 a.m. I'm meeting with Greg. His email address is greg@techsistence.com. And this meeting is about sales. And I want you to create a Zoom link for the meeting. And also, I want you to send the invitation to Greg. Thank you. So now we're going to see the power of MCP servers combined. So probably it will be able to create the new Zoom meeting. I could do it in a different conversation, of course, but it will be able to create a new Zoom meeting. And also after creation of the Zoom meeting, hopefully it will use Gmail send email action and send the email, and that's it. So those two actions were now taken one at a time, but in one reply. So this is pretty amazing, right? Well, from here I can see that there is a small hiccup here. I should give the proper email address because he didn't get it from my message. However, the cool thing about it is that it remembers everything in the conversation, so I can just chat to it and correct my mistakes. But also, if you think of how Foxy is created, in the master prompt of Foxy, I can easily, give the email addresses of all my team members, and I don't need to even give the address anymore. So I just ask to send it to Greg, and she immediately knows the address because of the context that is in the master prompt. So that's pretty cool, I think. I hope that you'll try Zapier MCP. And there is more great things and features to unpack. So let me maybe switch to another assistant, maybe Amy, okay? So she's helping me in growing Creators Empire. By default, she has this web search enabled. This feature is also really nice because if I ask, for example, if she can tell me something more about easy.tools, then she will connect to internet, like connect to Firecrawl services, and she will use web search feature to scrape this website and give me some more details and information about it. In the general settings, what all you need to do is provide your Firecrawl API key, and this is also free for many queries a month. So you can just go there and search for the key, and there you can see the answer, and it's based on the reference. So you have all the references here, and thanks to the web search, I was able to get some more detailed information on that. There is actually a more robust way of doing this as well. If I switch to Foxy for a second, you could see that this Firecrawl MCP is also enabled. And this is a really nice MCP server that you can enable in the settings. It's not a native integration, but what you can do is simply add a custom server. So you add a server, and from the Firecrawl website, you get the credentials. So you register there, you get the credentials. You use your run local server here in my case, but probably it's possible also to use Streamable or HTTP SSE server now with Firecrawl. As arguments, I put these arguments here. And that's basically it. So the Firecrawl can be enabled for one of my assistants, for example, for Foxy. And in Foxy, I can say, and with this MCP server enabled, Firecrawl, it has a lot of really cool features. So for example, it has this deep search feature. It can scrape websites. It's really powerful. So a question like, can you run a deep search on nuclear power topic and return it as an MD file that you'll save on my desktop is indeed possible. It will take a while, so I won't process it right now, but it is possible. You can also have an MCP server that will allow you a local files access and saving files on your disk and stuff like this. So Alice being a native app, it's really cool because you can do things like this. But I wanted to show you something else, something a bit easier probably. Here Amy has this create feature, and this skill is actually loaded with all the wisdom for going viral on X, all the documentation and stats for the posts and stuff like this. I'm going to give it like a very simple prompt. Just create a post with Alice 3.0 launch tomorrow 10 a.m. and she is helping me. The prompt is not great, so the answer is probably not the best as well, but here we have the post. And let's imagine that we want to post this to our X or LinkedIn right now, and MCP servers are not connected to this assistant. And this is on purpose because I don't want so many MCPs connected to the assistant, because then it's like contemplating on different tools that she wants to use. But here I want to be really straightforward. And for most of my assistants, I just have like a simple, brainstorming sessions with some good models. But then if I want to post it, I will use another assistant that has those capabilities. And this is really powerful technique. So if I say add, and now I can call any of the assistants, and I can call Foxy, okay? So I'm calling Foxy to this conversation. And as you can see, Foxy already has those MCP servers that I can enable. So I can enable, specifically, I'm gonna need this Zapier MCP, as I've added this LinkedIn here. And if I ask publish this on LinkedIn, now, as you can see, we switched the context to Foxy, and now Foxy has taken over, and she grabbed that conversation and she's creating this LinkedIn company update. So this is really cool, because now I can click and see this post being live on LinkedIn, and here we have it, okay? On Alice's profile, I have this posted. So let me quickly delete that so that it doesn't stay on the account. However, it's a test account. So as you can see, in one conversation, you can call many different agents. And this is really powerful concept, because not only you can have, MCPs connected to one agent, and then you can call it to just execute this action in your tools. But also what you can do is you can have like a board of directors here, or all of your employees, and they can exchange ideas, and they can also chat between themselves. So if you create something with Sally, let's say a customer support agent, then you can ask May, being your marketing assistant, is this, reply in line with our marketing guidelines? Or you can ask Steve, who is my just a mentor. Is this, in line with the strategy that we have, with our key values, with our vision and stuff like this? And you can loop them into conversations, either to execute actions or just to have a brainstorming session between them. This is really, really interesting concept. So you will be creating a lot of different assistants that know the context of your company, of the things that you do, and also create some skills that will help you, for example, create posts or something like that. And you will be also able to share those assistants with your colleagues, with your friends, with your teammates. It's a really great concept also in Alice, that you can simply enable those assistants. So you have the assistant created. For example, I have this product manager, and I can simply click here and I can share this assistant with my colleagues. So I can also decide whether I want to share all of his skills or just some of them, okay, that I've created. And I can click share. And now the link to the assistant is copied to my clipboard. And all I need to do is just open this link in a browser. And then this assistant will be automatically imported in Alice. So you can create a repository of links for your teammates, and they will be able to instantly import those assistants with pre-built skills and master prompt to their workflow. They will also be able to modify them further. So we don't lock those assistants. We let people experiment. We let people, customize them to their needs, because this is all about, customization. And you can give them templates. You can give them, something to start with. But they can expand those assistants with different skills and with changing the master prompt. And of course, they will be also able to share those upgraded assistants with their teammates. And if they mess this up, of course, they can always use the link to just install a fresh version of this assistant and work from there. So it's really powerful concept of sharing those assistants. But not only that, we are also introducing a library of assistants that we created for you. And we have a lot of them, over 100 assistants, over 100 skills that you can use instantly, and you can access them on our website. And you can also read some description for some assistants. We have videos on how to properly use those assistants in your workflow, and you can see what kind of skills they have. For example, Lyra here is a problem-solving assistant, and if you're facing business roadblocks, seeking product innovations, blah, 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 you can use her to just, you can use her skills also and her different mental models that you can easily enable on any of the problems you have. So it's a great way to inspire yourself by installing those assistants, and also a great way to kind of get to know what can be done. And we will be rolling out a lot of different assistants. All of them will be available for those of you who have our unlimited plan. Some of them will be available freely, and probably at some point we will also enable users to create and submit their own assistants and maybe charge some few bucks for it, so that you can also earn on the best assistant that you create. So this is a nice concept that I also encourage you to explore. And the last thing that I want to showcase here, although we also have a more advanced tutorial coming from Adam that will show you even more about MCPs and how to connect everything together. But the last thing that you were asking about is the privacy and how we handle this data for Alice. Well, Alice is basically private from the ground up, because we don't use any cloud, or we don't send any information to our servers. It has some drawbacks because we don't have automatic backups and we don't have synchronization between different devices. However, the great advantage of this approach is that everything stays locally on your computer. This includes your setup, this includes your keys, this includes your history of conversations. Whenever you want to move it to a different computer, you can just move one folder and that's it. And you have all the settings in place. But basically, this also grants privacy. And if you're using this within company, everything stays on a locked computer. And of course, you are using those models that will send data to their respective owners. So for example, to OpenAI or to Anthropic in this case, or to XAI if you're using them. But yeah, this is just how it works. So basically, those information will be sent to those providers, but also take into consideration that they are privacy policies for API usage. So this is how we communicate with those models via API. They are much more restrictive, and basically, all of the main players, big companies, use those, and they are pretty safe. And the policies are really, really restricted, so they cannot use your data to train any model and stuff like this. And this is for most of those companies. So you probably want to check their policies, but you can be pretty sure that working like that via API is much more safe and secure than just chatting to ChatGPT, for example, that has a pretty different terms and conditions. So this is how it works. You will have to provide your API key here. So in the general section, you just provide API keys to OpenAI and Gemini and Anthropic. And if you are using it within the team, for now, you will just, in this case, you can generate one key and create some limits in the budget for this key, so that people, altogether your team cannot surpass, let's say, $100 a month. And you can give out this one key, or you can create an individual key for every employee of yours for each of those if you want. But we have a really sweet alternative, which is basically handing it over to our system that connects to OpenRouter, and buying our unlimited plan for your employees, for your colleagues. You can tell us that, for example, you want $10 or $15 to be assigned to every account monthly, and we will automatically create those keys, and we will automatically grant access to the latest and greatest models within this unlimited plan. So basically, they will have all the models available, all the best models available, and you will not have to create any keys and anything like this. They will have some limits for API usage, and once they hit those limits, they will just have the notification that they need to contact us in order to get some more credits, and we'll contact you. But this is very easy, and we can obviously monitor the usage for individual users or for the groups of users, and we can change those limits accordingly so that they don't burn too much credits, or if they do, we can help them work more efficiently with those tokens. But usually within the teams, it's like $8 or $10. It's enough for people who are really using Alice extensively. So that's a huge advantage over the tools that you have to pay like, $20 for each individual model, or $150 or $200 for more advanced team features. So that's it for now. I really encourage you to try out what I've been talking about today, including MCP servers and especially Zapier. And also I encourage you to check out our growing library. If you go to library here, Currently, all of those assistants are free to use, so make sure you install some of them at least. Check those skills. You can install skills individually as well from here. It's really cool because you can, for example, use this summarize skill and you can install it for your other assistants, not necessarily Ellie. But yeah, this is still growing, and at some point we will have this only for the unlimited plan users. But now it's available for everyone. So that's it about the assistants. You also know that you have all those models in one app. You know that you have MCP servers that you can use, and you can connect to Make and Zapier for even more advanced automations that we will showcase in one of the latter videos. I will show you that, and Adam will create some more advanced MCP server examples as well. So you'll be able to check this out in our academy, and I will also notify you with the email. But also I want to take a while to focus on what the Alice team license is for now, because it's just for a limited time that we have this really cool thing that you have lifetime updates with the team license. So you have lifetime access to Alice and lifetime updates. Only for now, they are going away pretty soon. And also you have unlimited seats within your company domain. And you use this, bring your own key or declare a usage per seat that we will then apply to your employees. And if you use our offer now and you decide to buy a team license now, you will get additional 10% off. And you will be able to take part in our 3-hour team training that we will organize for all of the teams that will take part in this promotion. And also we'll have a small dedicated team that will help you with the implementation of your first assistant, and will explain how Alice can work best for your team. Also, we will happily feature you on our Hey Alice app website. And if you are interested, you can use this link to directly buy Alice with 10% off, or just contact us and join our Discord to have a conversation. For now, thank you for today, and I hope you like this presentation, and I speak to you soon.